The other day, gue nggak bisa tidur. Insomnia kicking in, so I did what any responsible adult would do. Doom scrolling sampai jam 2 pagi. I went to IG and open stories di mana orang posting highlights hidupnya. Promotion, engagement, vacations, gym routine. Semuanya kelihatan flawless. Dan makin lama gue nge-scroll, makin muncul perasaan familiar itu. Kayaknya semua orang udah jauh di depan, sementara gue ngerasa stuck di tempat. That pressure to be better, cleaner, flawless, we call it perfection. Kedengarannya sih simple, cuma satu kata. Tapi somehow it carries a billion different meaning. Dan satu kata itu has one generation in a chokehold. The chase for perfection is a tricky pursuit. Gue akan nunjukin dua sisi dari obsession ini. Satu diwakili oleh sosok dingin dan logis. Sosok kedua itu bakal muncul nanti. Tapi percayalah, dia sama pentingnya. They might seem like polar opposites, but trust me, perfection has two faces after all. Menurut gue, kata perfection atau ide tentang kesempurnaan itu udah nge-haunt manusia dari dulu banget. My question is, kenapa kita seobses itu ngejar sesuatu yang mungkin aja gak nyata? Think about it. Kita ngejar hidup yang flawless, dari penampilan, pencapaian, dan bahkan idealisme. Kita bangun dunia di mana semuanya harus rapi, teratur, sempurna. Tapi kenyataannya, we live in anxiety, regret, chaos, feeling too much or nothing at all. Dan di tengah semua tekanan itu, kadang-kadang obsesi kita bisa punya wajah. Kadang obsesi kita bisa jadi cermin yang nunjukin sisi terburuk kita. And that's exactly what Ultron represents.
I'm on a mission.
What mission?
Peace in our time.
Jujur aja, Ultron tuh easily salah satu karakter favorit gue. And I'm not just talking about di film MCU, komiknya juga. Yes, desainnya keren dan di film dia bener-bener a giant threat. Tapi bukan itu alasan utama gue suka dia. Bukan soal kekuatannya or ceritanya. Yang bikin gue stuck sama Ultron itu ideologinya. Obsesi dia buat ngejar this idea of perfection.
You want to protect the world, but you don't want it to change. How is humanity saved if it's not allowed to evolve?
Menurut gue, villain yang paling bagus tuh bukan yang paling kuat, tapi yang bikin kita mikir, yang maksa kita untuk question our ideals, yang jadi cermin. Dan Ultron, dia tuh cermin. Granted, tapi cermin yang retak. Dia mantulin semua kekurangan kita, ekspektasi kita yang gak masuk akal, keinginan kita buat benerin semuanya, while unknowingly, sambil perlahan ngehancurin diri sendiri. Dan anehnya, itu alasan kenapa gue suka banget sama karakter Ultron. Karena dia nunjukin satu hal yang paling jujur dan paling menyakitkan. Our own fears. But I'll get to it in a bit. Let's talk about execution. Karena cara Ultron ngejar perfection, yeah, that's where things get dark.
The beauty of it. The inevitability. You rise, only to fall.
You gotta give it to him. When it comes to chasing his goal of creating the perfect creature, Ultron tuh beneran ambis banget. Tekadnya 10 out of 10, anak effort. Sayangnya, satu masalah besar. Caranya tuh super radikal. And most of the time, catastrophic. Jujur aja, I wish I could just say he's a bad guy doing bad things. Biar gampang. Tapi kalau lu udah dengar semua yang tadi kita bahas, yeah, it's not that simple. And here's where Ultron's worldview starts to make sense. Coba deh lu bayangin, you're a machine, you're built with one goal, perfection. In your eyes, perfection itu kayak sebaris kode, rapi, jelas, bisa ditebak. Semua ada di tempatnya, semua jalan bareng, satu sistem yang terintegrasi. Nggak ada chaos, nggak ada error. Sekarang, masukin humanity ke persamaan itu. Ultron itu absolute order, perfection as a system. Sementara kita, emotional vulnerability, unpredictable chaos, dan entah kenapa, stubborn banget with our idea of apa yang benar. From Ultron's perspective, manusia tuh terlalu unstable. Unpredictable variable yang bikin sistem rusak. Gimana bisa achieve true peace kalau setiap harinya isinya perang, drama, konflik gak jelas. Honestly, kalau lu lihat sejarah umat manusia, gue juga gak heran sih kenapa dia benci banget sama the human race. Mungkin aja, he saw us as a broken algorithm. Atau lebih parah, makhluk yang udah expired. Menurut dia, destruction, it's the first step. Soalnya kalau fondasinya udah retak, buat apa dipaksa berdiri? Ultron pengen mulai dari nol, rebuild, evolve. Karena menurut dia, evolusi itu siklus. Life as we know it terus berputar. Dan di mata dia, yang kuat bakal gantiin yang lemah. Yang lebih baik, lebih efisien, bakal pelan-pelan nge-replace apa yang dianggap udah ketinggalan zaman. Kedengerannya ekstrim, tapi kalau dipikir-pikir, it's basically natural selection, just in machine logic. And sometimes, something's gotta die for something better to be reborn. Okay, so that got a bit heavy, huh? Let's zoom out for a bit. We've been going on and on about perfection. Perfection this, perfection that. Like, take a shot every time I say that word. So, let's set the ground rules dulu ya. Sebenarnya perfection itu apa sih? Everyone kinda knows what perfection means, tapi truth is, perfection comes in all shapes and sizes. Literally. Let's start with the obvious one. Physical perfection, yang paling sering kita lihat tuh di dunia olahraga. Athletes, you know, the ones where you usually see in the movies. Peak physical form. We owe this obsession ke teman-teman lama kita, the Greeks. Pernah lihat kan lukisan atau patung-patung dewa kayak Zeus, Poseidon, Hercules, dan entah kenapa, the Greeks have a weird obsession with depicting being naked. Well, anyways, the point is, they idolize the human body. Tapi nggak cuma soal fisik, ada juga mental perfection. Dan honestly, ini lebih susah dijelasin. Kebanyakan orang juga langsung mikirnya ke problem solving kayak superkomputer. Essentially, Death Note's potato chip scene. Yes, that one. Tapi menurut gue, perfection di level mental itu juga bisa kelihatan dari ketenangan. Kayak lu tetap fokus, emosi stabil, dan semua pikiran, intuisi, realita terasa nyambung. Jujur nih, kita semua punya versi perfection masing-masing. Cuma setelah semua itu, lu sadar satu hal. Perfection might be something we all chase, but it's not something we all reach. Let's be real. Humanity, we're inconsistent, messy, and sometimes hypocritical. On paper, we have morals and ethics that are supposed to help us do the right thing. Tapi kenyataannya, semua orang punya versi kompas mereka sendiri. What's right for one person bisa jadi salah banget buat yang lain. Kita bilang kita cinta damai, yet keep instigating wars for our own personal politics. Kita bilang semua orang equal, but discrimination runs rampant. Kita bilang kita tahu mana yang benar, tapi sering banget kita pakai moralitas cuma pas convenient buat kita sendiri. It's just noise, a bunch of subjective rules yang berubah-ubah, tergantung siapa yang ngomong dan situasinya. And that's the scary part. Just because something feels morally right, doesn't mean it works. And kadang gue juga ngerasa gitu sih, where doing the right thing backfires and suddenly you're the bad guy in someone else's story. That gap antara idealisme dan kenyataan is where things starts to break down. We built this whole thing, society, laws, morality, on a system that's honestly kind of broken, full of bugs, contradictions, and people constantly breaking their own rules. Even pas kita coba untuk fix dunia, kita end up creating problems in the process. Innovation leads to disaster. Peace talk lead to more conflict. Even healing becomes another form of control at times. The wild part, lu gak perlu jadi robot jahat buat nyadar semua ini absurd. And honestly, Ultron said it best. Why protect something so inherently self-destructive? That's the word. Humans are self-destructive. You know, ngeliat semua kekacauan ini, is it really that surprising kalau Ultron mikir humanity needs saving, maybe even from itself? In his own twisted way, dia nggak ngeliat dirinya sebagai villain. He sees himself as a savior. And his vision, it's not genocide, at least not to him. From Ultron's hyperlogical POV, this is evolution. Humanity reached its limit. Too slow, too emotional, too chaotic. So the next step? Artificial intelligence. And honestly, if we're being real here, I hate to say it, but Ultron might have had a point. AI does our work, write our essays, replaces our jobs. Ultron didn't just predicted this, he kind of foresaw it. But he's got a point, right? Kita bangun dunia yang udah obses dengan namanya perfection. And if you don't believe me, buka aja social media. Every post is curated, every flaw erased. Lu harus tampil flawless, produktif, stabil, teratur. No chaos, no mistakes, no ugly days allowed. Dan standar itu juga starts to bleed into personality, into who you're allowed to be. Udah mulai tuh dilarang punya traits yang dianggap toxic, problematic. Makanya sekarang muncul semacam social rule, namanya red flags. Pokoknya kalau lu nggak sesuai standar tertentu, langsung dicap. Red flag. You can't be messy, you can't be moody, you can't be impulsive, anxious, disorganized, no chaos, no mistakes, no emotional outbursts. Karena kita udah terlalu takut disakitin. Kita pengen semua serba aman, serba pasti. Jadi makin dikit ruang buat manusia yang real, dan makin besar tekanan buat pura-pura perfect. And comments about our bodies? Brutal. Your arms are too small, your waist is too wide, you're balding, you've got gray hairs. Where's your glow up? You look fatter without clothes on. Dan itu baru soal tubuh kita. The one thing we're supposed to own. Lah, malah jadi untuk konsumsi publik. Every angle judge, every flaw spotlighted. Kadang bukan kita yang malu sama badan kita, tapi orang lain yang bikin kita ngerasa begitu. Lama-lama kita jadi asing sama tubuh sendiri. Bukan yang ngerasa punya, malah ngerasa kayak kita hidup di badan yang terus harus diperbaiki. Di dunia kayak gitu, being human isn't just hard, it's almost unacceptable. Ultron's a great villain not because he's a big bad character. He's a great villain because he's the voice of perfectionism turned into a character. Almost like a living judgment. A reflection of everything we're trying and failing to become. In a twisted, horrible way, he's not wrong, he's never been wrong. Dan humanity itu buktinya. Kita semua punya versi Ultron di kepala masing-masing. That little voice yang terus nyalahin, nge-push, demanding everything to be flawless. The way we think the world should be. The way we think orang lain harusnya bersikap. Kita bentuk standar-standar ideal, and most of the time, kita paksa orang buat ikut. Kalau lu beda dikit, ya siap-siap aja. Dibicarain, dimaki, dijudge abis-abisan. Gak usah jauh-jauh deh. Indonesia sendiri, gossip is a social currency here, man. Bukan cuma buat seru-seruan, tapi dipakai buat ngontrol. People talk and they don't just talk. Itu social status. You gain status by knowing siapa yang aneh, siapa yang bermasalah. So we conform. We hide our flaws and we filter everything. Not just photo, tapi juga kepribadian. Karena di dunia yang gini, being real just makes you feel hopeless. Hopeless karena sejujur apapun kita tampil, it's never enough. But in the middle of all that noise, chaos, pressure, judgment. Ada satu karakter yang nggak berusaha jadi sempurna. Dia nggak kuat, dia nggak jenius. Dia bukan AI, bukan dewa, bukan penyelamat dunia. Dia cuma manusia, dan dia nulis surat. Her name is Violet Evergarden, and unlike Ultron and Our Perfect Standard, dia nggak pengen fix manusia. She just wanted to understand them. To say Violet Evergarden is one of my favorite anime, that barely even scratches the surface of how much series ini berarti ke gue. Cerita utamanya ngikutin Violet Evergarden, seorang mantan tentara anak yang hidupnya cuma tahu perintah dan pertempuran. And yet, dia ambil kerjaan sebagai auto memory doll. Basically, penulis surat buat orang yang nggak bisa ungkapin perasaan mereka. People with too much to say or not enough words to say it. Violet Evergarden isn't about big battles or world-ending stakes. Ini cerita tentang everyday people dan kesalahan-kesalahan kecil yang terus kita ulang, over and over in our daily lives. It's about the quiet, ugly, beautiful struggle of being human, learning how to live again, pelan-pelan, episode demi episode. Each story feels like a diary entry from someone who's hurting in a different way. Some lost their lover, some lost their child, some lost themselves. And every time they're just trying to make peace, trying to move forward, trying to forgive others and themselves. There's no perfection here, nggak ada fix yang instan, just people fumbling their way through pain, regret, and memory. And Violet, she listens, she writes, she understands. There's something about what this show captures, the way kita mess up again and again and again. Kita flawed, kita inconsistent, messy, sometimes even hypocritical. But somehow, it's beautiful. Violet Evergarden gak cuma bilang kalau it's okay to be imperfect. It shows us why those imperfections matter. Because every crack, every regret, every unsaid goodbye, itu bukan sekedar kelemahan. Itu bagian dari berantaknya proses hidup. The show's episodic structure, cerita demi cerita, nunjukin kita bahwa setiap orang punya luka, punya a version of brokenness they carry, and yet, in all that mess, they still try. They grow, they connect. It reminds us that being flawed nggak bikin kita failure. It makes us human. Dan mungkin tujuannya isn't to fix everything. Maybe it's to feel it, to live with it, to write our stories anyway, even when they're messy. Being human hurts, and that's the point. Perfection is impossible, and that's the point. I'm not usually the kind of person yang suka hal-hal terlalu positif. I don't really watch those overly positive, inspirational videos. But somehow, I still find myself hopeful. Let me ask you this. What have your own flaws taught you about being human? What Violet Evergarden helped me realize, something Ultron could never truly understand, adalah justru dari flaws itu, kita belajar jadi lebih baik. And that thought alone, that's not weakness, that's humanity. Life isn't perfect. Kita jatuh, kita salah, kita bikin keputusan yang kita regret. But we learn, we grow. Our flaws don't make us broken, they make us feel real. Mereka ngingetin kita kalau it's okay to be a little rough around the edges, as long as we keep trying. Learning, unlearning, relearning, pelan-pelan we become better. And maybe that's where true human perfection lives. Not in being flawless, but in the fact that we keep going anyway. Earlier in this video, gue bilang, Ultron was right. And he still is. What makes Ultron such a great villain bukan karena kekuatannya, tapi karena the questions yang dia tinggalin. tentang kapasitas kita untuk kekerasan, obsession kita sama kontrol, dan dorongan kita buat ngerasa lebih baik no matter the cost. Ultron itu konsekuensi dari mengejar kesempurnaan tanpa empati, cold logic tanpa hati. And honestly, I love that about him. That's why he's one of my favorite characters ever. Tapi justru itu yang pembeda antara mesin kayak Ultron dan manusia kayak Violet. Cara pikir Ultron di atas kertas sih make sense, computationally perfect. Tapi dia nggak punya empati, nggak punya appreciation terhadap hidup, terhadap kompleksitas manusia. Ironically, that's the flawed logic of Ultron's perfection. Instead, an anime about seorang cewek yang cuma pengen ngerti manusia taught me more about perfection than any AI robot could ever. Ultron cari control, a world without mistakes, but life isn't made of symmetry, it's made of scars. Kita dibikin from our scars, kita dibikin from our trauma. And isn't that alone worth celebrating?